It's the Sports Chasers Podcast. Coming to you live and direct with your host and your moderator, Kevin L. Warren. This is a real sports podcast for real fans.
Hey, good morning. Happy Sunday to everybody. Hope everybody's having an incredible Sunday. Good morning. This is the Sports Chasers Podcast. This is the Gridiron Rundown College Football Edition. Good morning. Let's meet the crew real quick. We got my man Dan. Dan and Hockey Dude wearing his Pitt hat. Pitt did not make it happen against North Carolina yesterday, but Dan is here. Dan, what's up, bro? How are you?
Not much. A little early, but hey, we're up. Let's get after it.
Yeah, no doubt. We got my man DA. DA's in D block, it looks like.
Yo, wait up. I'm on the phone, motherfucker.
On the Sunday.
Yo.
Put some money in my commissary.
Ready for count.
Yeah. I got minutes, man. Come on, man.
You got 6.
Come on, man. When I finish this, I got to call my baby mothers.
All right, man. Hey, a lot of stuff going on with college football, man. A lot of things. We're gonna jump right into it. Hey, one of D's favorite, and well, you know what? I'm gonna start with this one because Ohio State against Notre Dame. So if you don't know the backstories with the Sports Chasers, the DA can't stand Notre Dame and Dan can't stand Ohio State. Anyway, Ohio State won this game 17-14. A very critical play at the very end of the game where it looks like Notre Dame only had 10 players on the team. The coach was saying, hey, we wasn't able to get that 11 players on the team because he didn't want to risk a penalty, and wasn't the overall cause, but Ohio State was able to get the victory on yesterday. The Buckeyes, McCord, he passed for 240 yards. Hartman, the Irishman's quarterback, he passed for 192 yards. I'll give it to Dan. Your thoughts on Ohio State and Notre Dame?
This actually was a really good game.
Yes.
And Notre Dame had them the entire time. And it goes to show how important, especially in college football, you can't shank a field goal.
Yeah.
Schrader missed that field goal early in the game, and that ended up being the difference because Ohio State scored with 1 second left?
Mm-hmm.
And that would have been the difference. But, there wasn't a whole lot of excitement going around the field there. Yeah, there was some splash plays here and there, but for the most part, it was smash-up football.
Yeah, like you said, Dan, I think this was a very entertaining game from an aspect of college football. Kudos to them scheduling the game like this. And hey, Ohio State, they're still undefeated. Notre Dame, hey, get in the conference. Yep. I'll say that.
That's it.
DA, go ahead.
That's them now, right? Because you lose this game, and you don't have a conference championship to help you regain that momentum. Even though I do not believe folks are going to say this is a bad loss. I don't think folks would say that at all because they get the benefit the rest of the season of whatever Ohio State does well. They got beat by a good team. We got beat by a great team, right? So if Ohio State number one team at the end of the year, then Notre Dame can't be that far behind if they don't lose any other game, right?
Right.
They lost to Ohio State, but it was a good game. Defenses balled out on both sides. I thought Hartman would have did better because he's a 7th-year senior. He's 28 years old or some shit. So he's a good quarterback from Wake Forest, man. He did 4 years starting out there, so he can play. He was. I think last year he would have came out last year had they not had all of the quarterbacks in the draft that they had. So that's how high up he was. But he wasn't Bryce. He wasn't this guy. He wasn't that guy. And so he stayed this year. Unfortunately, this year what happens is the other guys are there. So it's always rolling dice. But I got no beef, man. It's a good game. I like to see it. I like to see the hitting. Ohio State, still continued to try to run the ball, which was good.
Right.
Notre Dame gassed them for some big runs as well. So I good game. Love to see good football, man. The schedule got it right.
Yep. Kind of in the first quarter of the season. This is week 4. So shout out, like you said, to the schedule makers for making this, a good game. So I'm with DA. They don't have the momentum. The Irish don't have the momentum to, the benefits of a conference where they're able to kind of capitalize this. Ohio State is very good. Ohio State is very good. So you cannot knock that. So kudos to Ohio State. They get the victory. I think Ohio State is still number 6. 6. I don't know. I'll check the thing here in a minute. But
Yeah, they were 6.
yeah, they were 6. I'm pretty sure they might move up in the
Well, I don't know if we got to check. I got to check. We got to check to see if anybody else lost.
Right. Yeah, so we'll do that. Another interesting. Let's go to game number 2. Down in Death Valley in Clemson, South Carolina, Florida State defeats Clemson 31-24. Final in overtime. Another very good, entertaining game. Some might say, Dabo, you not one to hit the portal. It's kind of costing you. Let's go through the stats here. Florida State there. Travis, he was 21 of 37, 299 yards, roughly 300 yards. He threw 2 TDs. Klubnik for Clemson, he was 25 of 38, 283 yards, 1 TD. Excuse me. I could say that Clemson, they tried their best to try to run the ball, which they did, and they was in arm's reach of winning that game, but went to overtime. And go ahead, D. I'll give it to you.
The fourth quarterback at Clemson is a freshman. I think he's a true freshman, actually. So
Right.
I big him up because he played a good game. Of course, he got rocked a few times, like the fumble. He got smoked.
Yeah.
They had a fumble, pick up and return. Gonna move. Oh, sorry.
No, that's me. That's me. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, he got smoked on that play, and he ran it back for that touchdown, but played a pretty good game. I think Clemson is not a bad team, but again, losses early in the year like this for a team like Clemson that's supposed to be, 1, 2, 3, 4, they're not that. So, and Dabo can, if he wants to stand on that hill, he's going to stand up by himself.
Sounds like he's gonna die on it too.
Yeah, he is. Because if they don't do well this year, next year they're going to get rid of him. And I don't know if he gets 2 years, right? But those people down there are pretty. They're anxious, like you get them the taste of the good life. So now they believe
they have expectation that this is going to be how it's going to be all the time.
Well, the funniest, not funny part, but the weirdest part is that he was the one that said, "Oh, these new rules are coming. We'll be able to get some good players and yada yada yada." He's the one that said, "Nope, I ain't gonna do it. Not gonna do it." And they're like, "What? What do you mean you're not going to do it? It's a rule. It's like I said, man. It's nothing illegal, But you got some way feeling about it. Then you know what, man? F you. I'm not sure what he doesn't like about the portal. I'm not sure. But I guess you'll have to deal with it, Kev. Like you say, you're gonna live with it, man. But I don't actually see what he's making out. So I mean, 5 of the 22 players that started for Florida State yesterday, 15 of them came through the portal. Now you think about it; those are starters. If you're restarting as a new coach in a new place, and you need to, kind of get it going quickly. Well, that's the best way to do it. because they're coaching
Agreed.
2 years in, and he's getting all the players he can get out that portal to help him win. I mean, I'm not sure what the beef is. So
Yeah, Dan, your thoughts? FSU versus Clemson.
Well, first of all, if Debo don't tap into that portal, he can be going through it himself. He can be portal to another dimension, to another conference. But no, man, like you said, Clemson isn't terrible,
no,
but they're not good either. They're average, I would say. And you saw them play probably one of the best games that they played, to this point in the season. And a lot of it, their defense was really good. Like our FSU, I mean, would they have total yardage running? Like, what's -4, like 22 yards?
yeah.
But,
They were,
I mean, that poor kid Travis said he was the only thing
yeah.
they had to throw because they couldn't run.
No, their running yardage was
Horrible.
24 yards. Yeah,
It's horrible.
they couldn't run the ball. So
Yeah, so they got to figure that out, or they're not going to be number 4 in the country long.
yeah,
But
agreed. Go ahead.
here's where the good stuff starts. Where I think there is a couple of cupcake games next week with some of these teams, but now we got to get into like the actual season, and they got to start playing each other in these big conferences. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I agree. Let me just run down the AP Top 25 as of this morning. Georgia's still number 1. They'll face Auburn next week. Michigan, with their win yesterday, they'll face Nebraska. Texas faces Kansas next week. Florida State with number 4. Go ahead, D.
Texas Kansas might be a sneaky good game.
I agree. That game's at 3:30 next Saturday. USC will face Colorado next week in Boulder.
They'll get 30.
Ohio State will be facing Maryland. Penn State is number 7. They'll face Northwestern. Washington, we'll talk about them here in a second. The number 8, Notre Dame's number 9. Oregon's 10. Utah's 11. We'll talk about Utah here in a little bit. LSU is number 12. Alabama, they got their win yesterday. They'll face Mississippi State next week. Oregon State versus Utah next week. I think another good game. Ole Miss is 15. Oklahoma is 16. North Carolina is 17. They beat Dan's Pitt Panthers yesterday. Number 18, Duke is 4-0. Number 19, Colorado, they lost yesterday to Oregon. Number 20, University of Miami beat Bethune-Cookman yesterday.
Ooh.
They're 4-0. Washington State is 21. UCLA is 22. Iowa is 24, and rounding out AP Top 25 is Florida.
Get off
Go ahead, DA.
Right now. You got to call Gene up right now and call to get him on right now. We need to speak to him about this Bethune-Cookman shit.
What? Getting the check?
Yeah, ask him what the hell's going on. That beat down there. But it shows you in a microcosm, and I know Kev don't want to go into this, we don't have all day to do it, but it does show you in a microcosm, like Bethune-Cookman is not supposed to beat Miami.
No,
and
absolutely not.
Like how Colorado was not supposed to beat Oregon. I know there's a lot of casual fans out there that were jumping on the bandwagon because Dion and the little brothers out there. No, this is football, baby. And it works the same no matter who you are. This is the one sport where you rarely have that crazy upset all the time. You may get 1 or 2 here and there, but the reality is it's based on your team and what your team has and what they're doing and your how your roster is put together, how many 5 stars you have, and because they give them stars because they're good, And the reality is not that you can't get an Antonio Brown because you can. individual kids coming out of smaller schools going to the NFL and being able to be great. Michael Strahan, O.C. Umanura, it happens.
Right.
But from a team perspective, if they got a better team than you, then they're supposed to beat you. And I don't want to talk no more about Colorado getting beat, but they were supposed to lose. They're supposed to lose next week, and they're supposed to lose the week after that. Now, if Dion comes out of it with more than 4 players out of the hospital, he's a good coach. Because it's going to be hard, Fred. Hard.
Since D segue to that, I'll just go to Colorado. I actually was going to say that game for last. Bo Nix, he was 28-33, 276 yards, 3 TDs, threw 1 interception. Shador Sanders, he was 23 of 33, 159, 1 TD. He was under duress the whole day. By the numbers, Colorado had 159 passing yards, 40 rushing yards, total yards 199. Meanwhile, Oregon 282, 244, grand total of 522 yards. So
That sound like 2 teams that's playing in 2 different divisions. Don't that sound like that? Doesn't it sound like one of these things does not belong here? One of these
things ain't like the other.
Yeah, man.
we are absolutely dating ourselves singing a damn song.
So like I said, man, I will not mess with the casual fans at all when it comes to my sports that I love. And if you're just there because you go to Colorado because it's the cool thing to do now, that's fine as well. I don't really have a problem with you doing that. But what I'm saying to you is that team was not supposed to win that game, and they shouldn't have had a chance. If they did, then it would speak more to how bad Oregon is. Something's wrong with Oregon.
Right.
Because Oregon's been good since Achilles Smith.
For those true college football fans, you know who Achilles Smith is.
The older Carr brother played there.
Yeah.
Almost won the Heisman there.
Yeah.
Almost won the Heisman there. They was good. They was good. So.
Dan, your thoughts on Colorado and Oregon? And I'll give mine in a second.
Yeah, I had to plug my phone in because somebody kept texting the shit out of me. We're coming. I thought he was having a stroke. The way when I watched this game, and I said it when they were getting ready to play Colorado State. They probably win that game, and then we're gonna find out what they're made of these next 2 weeks. Well, we found out, yesterday what they were made of when they play the big boys, and that you could tell the difference in just the type of players that Oregon is able to bring in. Big 6, 4, 5, 6, 300-pound linemen. And, here's what was it, the first quarter or something like that? I think they maybe ran like 6 plays because it was 3 and out. But total yards, Colorado had 200, let's say, 199. Oregon, 522. Rush yards, Colorado, 40. Oregon, 240.
That shows that, like you said, up front, the beef in the middle.
It's different, man.
Yeah, and that's and it was like 35 minutes and 6 seconds time of possession for Oregon to 54 for Colorado. It's Oregon just didn't let them have the ball, and when they did, they took it right back. But that's it's going to take him a year or two to get this big, beefy, offense and defense alignment, because that's, college football. That's where you win, in the trenches.
Yeah. And they got kids that are playing hard, doing the best they can. But believe you me, when this season's over, Dion gonna be talking about his Louis bags again, because these dudes gonna have to go. They're gonna have to go. Not because they're not good, They're gonna have to go because they're not big enough.
Yeah, I was
Right.
gonna say that Dominic Kid on defense for them is really good,
Yeah,
but when he's getting double teamed by 350-pound dudes,
it's hard. So you got
yeah,
got
yeah, they just run it right past him. Yeah, but he made some really good plays, and he has because I've watched several of their games this year. That he's been one of the guys that stands out. That he's
yeah.
always in the mix wherever the play's going. But like you said, they got to get bigger.
Yeah. I'll say this, and I like the fact that we talk sports. Yes, and Dan was referring to me when he was talking about his phone. Yes, I'm telling on myself. I'm snitching on myself. And the only reason why I said that, and I had a very passionate conversation with the DA too about this. I just think the coach puts the target on the kids back, and this is why everybody's up for them to stomp on them every week. Now, people will say this, and like we were just talking football. Yes, they was going to lose, and they're going to lose next week, and they're probably going to lose the week after it. But it's just football, and yes, I'm talking about the casual fans. All of a sudden, people whose alma mater is at wherever, and then they all of a sudden they all traveling out to Eugene, Oregon, to whatchamacallit.
Boulder.
Yes, to Boulder. Well, they went to Eugene too
Yeah,
yesterday to support. I just it's just at the end of the day, man, it's just football, man. You just want football, man. That's all. That's all I want. I'm just a fan. I just want football, man.
casual
All
fan.
the other exterior stuff, man, it's just noise. Let's just play football. Let's just line up, blow the whistle, kick off. Let's just play some football, man. And Oregon, they should have beat them by set number yesterday. They were the better team. They were absolutely the better team. Go ahead, D.
Deion Sanders knew that. He's just trying to gas this team and maybe pull off a miracle if they could.
Yeah,
That's what coach.
100%.
He's going to talk in the I believe and this, that, and the third in the locker room. You can believe all you want if you're 150 pounds and he's 350 pounds. You can't be that ant with the rubber tree plant the whole goddamn game. You know what I mean? Like you believe. Believing is actually not something I'm into. Because if you believe in something, that means you don't know it. If you know it, you don't need to believe it. There is the cats in Georgia don't believe in shit. They know they're the best.
Mm.
They know they're
DA,
the best.
DA has turned into a preacher this Sunday, and it's Sunday morning.
Have the best. They know what they're doing. I got nothing against it. He got to recruit big guys, and he's been saying that since the beginning of the year. He knows that. And I think Warren Sapp was on something, and he was talking about that, getting the big kids there. It'll take a year or two.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's funny because his son will be gone by then, but I'm pretty sure they already got their eyes. And this my son, my other son didn't believe it. I said, Deion already has his eyes on the quarterback that's better than his son right now. Right now, he's got some kid he's going to bring in that's better than his son. By far. Because his son was only a 4-star quarterback. 3 or 4-star coming out of high school. He's going to get a 5-star kid next year. He's going to get a 6'5", that, or he's going to get a kid his son size that throws the ball better and runs faster. He's going to get it.
Right.
So
and kudos to him because he has. Just think about it. Deion hasn't played football, hasn't played in about 20 years, right? And he's still relevant, and he still can go out there and like recruiting is a totally different mindset now. It's a totally different change. That's why the what's my man? Like we just talked about Dabo and I even look at Saint Nick. He looks like he's tired. He's like, man, there's another way I got to do this thing. Yeah, the game has changed, rules have changed, so it's up to you to adapt, and that's just life. If things change, Dion has made it where he's tapped into the portal and within the rules, he's done his thing. Can't be mad at that. I'm not mad at that. Some of the exterior stuff, I can do without all the casual fans and all that stuff, and that's just my quandary. But hey, they're a year or two away. They'll keep on. I'm pretty sure, like you said, D, he'll keep on plugging away on getting kids there, and that's like the size of Oregon's offensive and defensive line on yesterday. You went in the trenches. Was it in college? Was it in the pros?
And the other thing too, real quick, is that those kids in Colorado, they're not used to winning like the kids in Oregon. So the kids in Oregon act differently because when you come there, you expect that.
Right.
You know, the kids that came to Colorado, they came on Dion's behest, but they do know they only won one game last
Yeah.
year. So you
And
got
most of those kids are gone.
yeah, but the kids over there, they wasn't winning no games either. So they
Right.
don't know how to, do interviews and this, that, the third, and what to say, what not to say, and how to say it.
Mm-hmm.
I am guaranteeing you that in every big college, they got people that work with those kids probably before the coaches do about interviews, what to say, what not to say, all those things. That's such a big thing now that I'm 99.9% sure. If you go to, North Carolina, they got people at the school, on the staff, on the coaching staff, like, okay, pick it, da-da-da, da-da-da. Don't say this, don't say that, don't, because they need to, they try to own the whole situation. So Dion also has to get that together. It can't just be, I believe, because your message and the kid's message has to be the same. And we don't want them saying your message because you're a grown man and not playing, and they're kids. I know they're getting paid, but everybody's getting paid. But they can do as you say, not as you do. That's what I'm. Because
Yeah. Got one plug here. Nah, that's beautiful what you just said, D. I like that you said that. Hey, one shameless plug I had to say. Shout out to my alma mater, Purdue. They got their ass beat by Wisconsin, 38-17. So
the Ivy League.
yeah.
Purdue Ivy League.
I'm sorry.
Isn't Purdue Ivy League?
No,
Oh,
Purdue is
well,
Big Ten, bro. He's being funny, of course.
Yeah, but they'll be in the Big 40 next year.
oh yeah.
The Big 40.
Hey, Dan, they'll be drinking a Big 40. Maybe.
Yes, they will.
Y'all are funny. Oh man. Let me go on to the next game. What did I have here? Oregon State versus Washington State.
Oh, good game.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good game. That was a very good game. Hold on one second as I pull it up there. I'm sorry. I thought I had it up here. Yes, that game. Well, Washington State was ranked 21, and the Beavers of Oregon State, they're ranked 14. They wind up winning this game. Washington State winds up winning this game 38-35 here.
No defense.
No.
Ole.
Yeah. Go ahead, Dan. I'm
I
sorry.
was going to say Ole.
Yep.
Come on, go right through the bull thing. But no, dude, Cameron Ward went off. He had 404 yards,
Yes.
4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And was it Kyle Williams, the receiver? 7 for 174. Josh Kelly 8 for 159. Yeah, they were just straight balling out there. But Washington State is usually sneaky good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, like,
Absolutely. They don't get no play because I guess they playing in the Pacific Northwest. But go ahead, Dan.
yeah, so I was gonna say it's always Oregon this, Oregon that, and then it's Washington this or that, and then it's kind of like they always get third fiddle, and it just seems like every year this team is around double digit wins, super consistent, and hopefully they keep playing this way.
They got a pipeline. I don't know where from, but
Yeah, they got somewhere.
it's every year.
They got the underground from Tacoma, something.
Right.
They get some hard ass kids out there, man.
Yeah, but it's like I said, every year it seems like this team, is in the mix for the Pac-12 or the Pac whatever.
Yeah, back.
Yeah, the Marlboro Pac.
Marlboro.
Or is it the Pac-3 now that they all left?
The back of Marlboro.
Pack them up is what it is.
Pack them up.
But yeah, They're
Go ahead,
a
man.
good team. They're a good team.
Yeah. It was just crazy, like you said. Washington State was total yards 528. They passed for 422, rushed for 106. Um, they held the ball. Time of possession. Time of possession was almost the same. Where Oregon State was 31-33, and Washington State was 28 and of 27. Man, so I don't know. D, your thoughts real quick before we go into the next game and we close it out.
Evenly matched game.
Yeah.
Evenly matched game. Both teams played hard. Defense for both of those squads was lacking the whole game. But you get to stop here and there, but their secondaries are being torched on both sides. And I mean, for like gash plays, you're like, what? Who's what? There's no one there to even tackle the man. So whenever you see a receiver catch the ball and there's nobody there around him, that's a freaking problem. But it's kind of what you expect from Oregon State and Washington State. They're going to put it up, and for years, you would always go to that conference to get your quarterbacks because those are the kids that throw the best, and they're trying to come back to that. So we'll see.
Yeah, definitely, man. Let me move on real quick to UCLA, who's number 22, against the Utah Utes, who's another sneaky good team. And it's all because of this whole relevance of playing out west and West Coast, East Coast bias and all that stuff. Utah's been good for I would say the last 10 plus years.
They're good.
They've been really good. Go ahead, D. I'm sorry. They want to, before you do it, D, get in. They wind up winning the game. Utah winds up winning the game 14-7. Utah's now 4-0. They're ranked number 11th in the AP polls. UCLA's ranked number 22. Go ahead, D.
I'll give props to UCLA. Another true freshman playing quarterback. He played hard. He got smoked a few times too. Got right back up. Holds the ball a little bit too much. UCLA, they don't have they're not as dedicated to the run as I thought they should have been, which played into the hands of the Utes.
Clearly, 9 rushing yards.
Yeah. The Utes play good defense. They got big Samoans in the middle, but they will get after your quarterback if you can't run. They will get after him, and that's what they did. So it was a good game to me, and the excitement was crazy for a score that was just 14. Because I thought there was a point in the fourth quarter where, it was 2 or 3 drives in a row where I thought, oh, okay,
Mm-hmm.
up fumble, up, but he's a freshman, so I think if Kelly keeps him right, coaches him up, gets the things around him that he needs to be successful, I believe the kid will be fine. But it's like anything else, man. Now it's up to that coach to make that work.
Yeah, where UCLA had 2 turnovers, they had a fumble and they had an interception. Where Utah only gave the ball away 1 time, man. So, what you say? What you got to say about that? But I'm with you about UCLA. They gotta, like you said, coach them up and.
Yeah, he threw an interception first play of the game, man. A pick 6. So the comeback after that and continue to play is hey.
Yeah, kind of remind me of the Monday Night Football game when I think he was doing 4th and short, and Darryl says, this guy ran it back for 6. Meanwhile, Dan is laughing over there because it's his team that running back for the pick 6, man. That's funny. Dan, what's your thoughts on Utah? I mean, Utah and UCLA, and then we'll close on out. I'm getting on out of here.
I watched a little bit of this game like I told you, I had like 3 games at the same time. I had this one on mute, but I was watching it. The dude for the Utah's defense is stout. Like that dude, what was his name? Ellis or Elias? He went all Bobby Boucher on them.
Yeah, boy.
This dude had 10 tackles, 5 solo tackles of that, 5 for tackles for loss, 3.5 sacks. They should have just put him in a UCLA shirt because he was in the backfield all day long.
Getting that captain in the St. O.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%, man.
You're a needle dick.
Yeah. the trick.
But yeah, I mean, like their
Really,
defense is sneaky good.
yeah. Well, they're usually there. It's usually at the end of the season the RPI shits on them because they'll say something like
Their strength of
schedule
schedule.
wasn't
Yeah.
good, and I'm like, but they're in the same Pac-10 as everyone else.
Yeah.
But I guess have the
Out of conference schedule.
yeah, like so UCLA, USC rather is going to always get the Notre Dame push, right? And I don't know who else they play this year out of conference, but they usually play two big games out of conference. And on the college football tip, I'm just telling folks, man, cherish those games because in 2 years there will be no more out of conference games. Just so you know, conferences are going to be so big they're going to have to play each other, and that's it. So.
Well, I think that's one of the things Dan alluded to here when we first started talking college football before they started
Yeah,
that week. He's like, they're going to have to play one another, and I don't want to hear any excuses no more.
yeah, but it hurts the fans of those, rivalry games.
Yeah.
You have a SEC team and an ACC team that maybe met in a few bowl games that have a game, or the
Yeah.
USC Notre Dame game, or those games are games people want to see, but they know there won't be room in the schedule going forward for those games.
Agreed. Make sure you like, click, and subscribe to our channel. Make sure you're on the podcast tip. You're listening to the sound of my voice. Make sure you go to Apple or Spotify. Give us that where's my hand at? 5-star review. Tell us how great we are doing. That messes up and creates a awesome algorithm for us. Make sure you do that, please. Also on the YouTube side, make sure you like, click, and subscribe. Comment on the channel. Tell us what you like, you don't like. Excuse me, good, bad, or indifferent. And hey, help this thing grow, man. Make sure you can also donate to us. I don't have it up, but hey, just that QR code. You can go to any one of the episodes. It's up there. Boom, you scan it. Whatever you want to donate to make this thing grow. Speaking of which, we do request Dan. Vlac says, can you elaborate on the Pitt and North Carolina game? That wasn't on the docket. Dan, in 30 seconds or less, your thoughts about Pitt losing to North Carolina.
So finally he figured
And
out.
if you don't know, Vlac, one of our faithful listeners, Vlac is a North Carolina fan. So
Yeah, just so you know that he finally just figured out that they had a football team at UNC.
Ooh.
Because they're usually dog doo doo.
Ooh.
And not now. Oh, okay, we won a game. But the kid that like the kid we got a quarterback for us is not it.
He's not Kenny Pickett.
No, he's not kidding. He's not even the shoes that he wore.
Gotcha.
He's struggled. Like I've watched a couple of their games,
Right.
And it just bad. And I feel terrible saying that, but he's just bad. They need to move on and find somebody else, bring somebody else in the portal next year and get it together. But like, Drake May didn't go crazy, did he? No. I mean, he had 296 yards passing, 1 touchdown. I mean, it was more the run.
That's these, man.
Drake is good, man. He can play. He's gonna be.
Yeah, I mean, he had 2 rushing touchdowns, but they just couldn't stop the run.
No.
And then when you're on the field the entire game because the quarterback can't get first down, that usually happens.
Right. Yeah. So, you want to get gassed. So
I want to just allude to something that Dan said. He said that Dan said it in passing, but it is the truth. This is the hope that the transfer portal has for every team in the NCAA. Right? Because like Dan said, we're going to have to get in the portal, get another quarterback because this kid ain't right. He's not it. Right? Now, I say that to say this. There's nobody going to get on Dan for saying that. But people jump on coaches that tell kids, hey, you better, it may be a better look for you to get in the portal because we're going to look for something else.
Just say it. Deion said it to some of those kids.
Yeah, look, the way you have to read, the reason I ain't say it like that is because I know it happens every year.
Right.
I knew when my son was playing basketball at VMI, that the coach told kids, "Yo, we bringing this one in. They're not this freshman, that freshman, this one in." You know, other cats that were seniors or whatever, you know, over Dorian, he was telling them, "Yo, you wasn't playing this year, so you know that scholarship is probably going to be gone next year because we're bringing in this kid." You know, so they do it all the time. This isn't any new shit to do. You know, now Deion did it, I guess, more in front of the whatever the cameras, but like Dan said, you know, we unless this kid turns it around somehow, we're going to have to go get a quarterback from another transfer.
Right. And which is not a bad thing, right? That's the rules that's given, and you know, adults need to tell the kids, "Hey, this is what it is. Hey, just look to go somewhere else, and it's fine."
Yeah, whereas before it wasn't. That's all, and I think it's that stigma that's put out, like you know, and I hate it because the coaches are the ones who did this shit. So, oh man, he's not dedicated. He's not strong-minded. You got to stay in there. I mean, fuck out of here. All right, you ain't gonna be at a job where they're not paying you. How long are you staying? How long are you staying? Especially if somebody else is going to offer you more money to do the same thing.
Yeah, I mean that's true.
But so I'm not going to get on that because that's, you know, I'm just saying everybody now has a belief at least that if their team is not right, if they can pinpoint certain pieces of the team that are not right, that they can say, you know what, next year we can get. And that's a serious thing there, you know, to be able to do that. You know, so that's all I'm saying.
Gotcha. Appreciate that, Dan. Thank you for your soliloquy on North Carolina and the Pitt game, even though it wasn't on the rundown. And Vlog, he didn't respond. So look at that. So we'll just send him a copy of it.
He's probably watching a women's soccer game or something.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
You know
The
what?
highlights, Mia Hamm highlight tapes.
Let me.
Me and Ham is 40 years old. Yeah.
You know what? I'm going before this gets out of here. On behalf of myself, hey, enjoy your Sunday. Watch NFL today. Hey, we'll be back tomorrow with Fourth and Short. Hey, but on behalf of myself, of Kevin O'Warren, for Dan the Hockey Dude, for the DA and D Block, in the absence of the D Dub and the Angry One and Mike Mills. Yo, this is the Sports Chasers podcast. Hey, get with us tomorrow for Fourth and Short. We'll talk about some NFL football. What's going on today with NFL? Hey, be good, be blessed. Have a great Sunday. See y'all tomorrow. Later.
Peace.